Keep, sell or loan. We're going to start off with the goalkeeper, Emi Martinez, 31. He's got a contract till 2027. His market value is 24 million. Sorry, that was difficult to say, wasn't it? Two questions here, I guess. Obviously, keep or sell. Does he need a loan, Emi? And the second thing is, how do you feel about that market value? I think along the way, often we'll probably get this from Transfer Market. And Transfer Market, I think generally they're sensible with their market values. But I'd be intrigued to know how much you would want to let him go. That might be an interesting question as well. So, Emi Martinez feels like an easy one to kick
definitely
off.
stays.
Yeah.
I reckon his value would be around about 45 to 50.
Okay.
That's what I feel. The one thing about Martinez is he, again, has been on this journey with Villa. And last season, when we got into the Europa Conference League, he mentioned on the mic Champions League, didn't he? Yeah. And now we're in the Champions League with him. So that one feels like I'd be astounded if he got sold.
Yeah, he's a bit of an icon now, is he not?
He's the world's greatest shithouse.
Yeah,
but he's our shithouse.
Yeah.
He's brilliant.
Yeah.
Where'd you go from the best goalkeeper in the world?
Olsen. Is Olsen gone? Or is Olsen going?
I think so. I think the young Gauchi that we've signed, the Australian keeper, who's got, I think, from what I've seen of him, I haven't seen him play yet, but I think he looks a really good prospect.
Pau Torres, 27 years old, contract till 2028. Just to be clear, guys, we're in 2024 at the moment. And the market value is 38 million for him. Talk to me about Pau Torres. Good season.
Oh, I think he's my favourite Villa player at the minute, just of how important he is. Like when Emery came in his first season, we were playing out from the back, and you could really tell that we needed a player that could do that role. And you know, when Pau's in the team, his calmness, he's stepping out from the back, he's dribbling into midfield, he's passing and finding Douglas Luiz on the half turn or Ramsey. He's absolutely crucial to the way we play. And I've been surprised this season at the amount of teams that allow him to have the ball. Because if I was an opposition manager, he'd be the one that I'd be shutting down. A lot of teams sort of like do try and like shut out Douglas Luiz, but I think he's the one that he can just rake in passes, and he's been absolutely fantastic for Villa.
Tactically, in terms of the aspects of what Emery wants from his centre-backs, that dribbling out is one that probably, again, when you talk about like, the fans in the stadium, another thing to acclimatise to, right? Probably quite scary. How crucial is that in terms of the different elements that you want from your centre-backs for under Emery?
Crucial.
Yeah, I think it's probably
right up there.
It's the biggest, one of the biggest things that we do, I think.
Yeah, because we play out from the back, and because you need players that are comfortable on the ball to receive the ball in very tight areas. We've seen this numerous times when teams do high press, and then Martinez will have the ball on the 6-yard line. He'll roll it into Pau Torres, and he's so comfortable on the ball that he's happy just to turn away from a player. Yeah. Somebody's charging at him, and he's just got the ability to look like he's going to nick one down the line, and he just digs inside them. They're over there, and he can just 10 yards forward. And having the ability to bring the opposition onto you, and then have a player of his ability that can go past the player, and then pick a pass into the midfield. The way we break on teams, it's so critical.
In terms of centre-backs, we've got a few here, guys. So we've got Pau Torres, we've got Ezri Konsa, who's 26, also got a contract to 2028, market value 30 million. Diego Carlos, who's 31, his contract's up in 2026, and there's been rumours, we'll talk about him. Tyrone Mings, another centre-back, of course, has gone through what he's gone through this year with injuries. His contract's up in 2026 as well. Clement Longley, whose contract is now finished. He was on loan, so are we letting him go? Yeah. We're letting him go. Callum Chambers, 29, of course, can play centre-back, and can play pretty much ever, it feels like. And Courtney Hawes as well. Courtney Hawes is, so, Courtney Hawes, go. Yeah. But his contract's 2025. So, are you trying to like...
find a club for him, yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be just find somewhere to go and play.
Okay. So, in terms of sort of keeping and selling, are you in agreement with kind of contracts that have been given out, really? So, Konsa and Torres you keep?
Definitely.
Are they your two?
I think they've become very important to us, but I think Mings will come back into the conversation next year, and I do think Carlos will probably be allowed to be gone. And I think, like I say, Hermoso has been heavily linked, but I think another centre-half will come in, maybe of a younger age, like we were saying earlier, profile, a bit different. So yeah, Torres, Conson, Mings, and another.
Okay, left backs. Alex Moreno, who's 30. His market value is 11 million, according to this. 2026 his contract's up to, as is Luca Dean, who is also 30. His contract's up in 2026 as well, and is at 0.5 million less, apparently, than Moreno. So, in terms of these two battling it out, who's first and who's second, I guess would be the first question.
He's never really had a first or second. He's always had either. So in games, you'll have...
Is it about the game?
The
opponents?
Yeah, sometimes.
I'll call it 60-30.
Yeah, so if one of them plays 60... The other one plays 30, vice
sorry.
versa.
Okay,
not
right.
every
Sorry,
game.
I was trying to add up to 100
Come
there.
on, Jazz, keep up.
Sorry, yeah. Well, it's a 100-minute game these days, actually,
is,
Justin.
yeah.
You keep up.
Yeah, you're right. You are
So
right.
that's what he's always done. Luca Dean has had a fantastic season. It looked like he was going to go this year. So I was really surprised with how well he's done. Moreno's been injured for a lot of the season.
Because he was on fire at the back end of last season, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, yeah. And Luca Dean's on quite a lot of money from what I've read. I think...
Can you give us a number?
140?
No.
Ah, that's a lot.
More than that, apparently.
Really?
Apparently,
No.
yeah. He's a Harry Sterling.
Yeah.
Which is why...
Guess
I
who
think-
signed him?
Stephen?
Well, yeah.
Well, the owners signed him, didn't they? Stephen's not paying for it.
I think we let Dean go because of his
I think
his
we let
wages.
both of them go.
I don't think
Wow.
Moreno goes.
I think both.
I don't think we can let both go.
No, we
in
couldn't,
one
but we could
summer.
recruit.
Do they excel, either of those two?
I think Luca Dean at times been excellent. Right. Yeah, I think he's had a very up and down spell at Villa. I was really pleased when we signed him. I thought he was a really good player. Not only, I don't think he's as good defensively as I thought he was, but going forward he's been good. And his set plays haven't been as good as I thought they would be either. You know, I was hoping for quite a few more free kicks. You know, he scores well. He always seemed to score lots of free kicks, but he's never really done that for Villa. So I think, based on these financials, I think he's the one that they will let go.
Okay, so you're saying sell both, Luke. Mm-hmm. What are you saying, Justin?
Dean go, Moreno stay.
Yeah, get those wages back. And I guess if you are moving forward, out of those two profiles of fullback, which one do you think is better for Aston Villa moving forward?
I think Moreno's probably the profile that he likes because he likes to play with Consa playing at right back. He likes to play those solid three and then allows the left back to become an attacking left back. So I think he would look to add. If you are letting Luca Dean go, you would be looking at a more attacking left back rather than a defensive left back.
Okay, interesting. Right back, Matty Cash, and also name. Sorry, I don't know enough about Kane Kessler-Hayden. Quick one on Kane Kessler-Hayden. Who is he? Should you keep him?
I actually, a couple of seasons ago, he was my wild card. We did a pre-season preview, and I thought he'd be our first choice right back by the end of that season. He was a really good attacking young player that came through the ranks. He went on a couple of really good loans, and I thought, you know, he's a good player. This kid is. He's never really kicked on, and he's had a couple of loans where he's come back and he hasn't really played much. Another one, I think he will be let go. I think he'll find a club. Okay,
Matty Cash. So yeah, into the right back position. I did video recently, and that was kind of the area I got zoned in on, in terms of like you might need a new guy, and also depth. I think maybe as well. Matty Cash is 26. His contract's up in 2028, so he's not going anywhere.
I think if they could find a better right back, they would be.
Yeah,
they would upgrade. Try and upgrade. Yeah.
His market value is 24 million. Would you agree with that? Would you take?
Yeah,
that?
I think about that. Yeah, the thing that I think about the squad is before we get to selling a big hitter, there'd be a few with good value that I think would allow us not to take a big hitter. And I think Cash is, for me, would be one of those players that I think we could possibly move on.
Is this his ceiling? I mean, top four, that's pretty
good. It's good, yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, sorry, but do you think...
Well, we signed that Nedeljkovic in January, who's a right back, and he's got, I think he got injured, so he's had an injury. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with him. He's only a young kid, whether they'll bring him in and just put him in the 21s to start with, or maybe loan him out. I don't know. I don't know enough about him to know whether he would come in and be a genuine, right back for us.
Last one on Matty Cash. I'm always intrigued to know, again, in terms of where they kind of stand. If I go to you, someone's coming for Matty Cash, what kind of club would you expect to hear? Are you expecting
Like
Man
a West
United,
Ham.
Chelsea,
Yeah,
those
like
guys?
Wolves, maybe.
Like a West Ham type, I think.
Okay. So he's not stepping into, those.
I'd be surprised if like a Chelsea or
Yeah.
an Arsenal or someone that.
Because 26. He's younger than I thought he was.
He
I
is,
thought
yeah.
he was a bit older
And
than that.
it sounds like we're slagging him off, and we're not. I like Matty Cash, but I think for a player who started his career as a right winger, an attacking right winger, when he gets forward, his final ball isn't where it should be, in my opinion, for a player that profiles as a right winger who turned his career around and went to right back, and when we signed him, and he's done pretty well for us. Yeah.
Okay. So sell if you get the right offer, but you would like 20. What's the lowest you'd go?
20 mil.
Yeah,
20 mil. Shake your hand. Okay. Boubacar Kamara, 24. What a player.
Well,
what a shame he got injured.
Yeah,
Love him.
brilliant.
Makes others look better around him as well. I mean, feel free to eulogise, but I'd be amazed if you wanted to sell him.
Yeah, definitely not.
No.
I think he'd probably be, off the top of my head, be the last player I'd sell in the squad.
Really? Wow.
I think so, yeah.
Would you be afraid that the Sharks are circling and someone's
Not at
going to
the
be coming?
moment,
No,
no.
not because he's injured, isn't he? So
Plus
again,
Champions
ACL
League
till
next season.
November.
Yeah, true.
I know. I think Luiz's form dropped off when he got injured.
Massively.
And I think
because he had to be in different positions, didn't he?
He's just a Rolls Royce of a footballer, honestly. I know you talk about Pau Torres' ability on the ball, but his ability to see danger and go and snuff it out, but then also have the ability to come away with the ball and then to find a player. And he's a lovely, lovely player. Lovely player.
Tim Erik Boonham, I do want to talk about him for a bit. Ex-QPR, contract until 2027. Got a couple of games.
What do you think about Tim Mirabuna?
Thank you, Justin. It's about time someone asked me a question. Tim, I think
He had a good spell with you, didn't he?
he had... So, under Beale, he was getting there. And the thing I would often say about... He would look phenomenal at times, and then he would just make the most stupid pass. But as the season progressed, we fell off a cliff, and he had to sort of deal with that. We had 3 managers in the season. We went from playing Mick Beale football, where we're just keeping the ball, working our way up the pitch, to Critchley, where it was just incredibly stale, and then Ainsworth, where we didn't want the ball. So that was difficult for him. At the start of the sort of Beale thing, I was like, I'm so excited to see him play 46 games for us and see where he will get to, because that is what you do see in the Championship. You see a guy come in and you go, I can see the talent, I can see it. Okay, maybe you're not totally as effective as we would love you to be yet, but it will come. But I think with him, he has to play games. He has to fail and allow for that trial and error for him to get where he wants to be. But his ceiling is outrageous.
I would probably agree with his ceiling, but I think the biggest problem he's got is because of where we are now at, and the players we need to stay where we are, let alone try and get higher. I don't know if he's good enough over the next 12, 18 months to put himself in the picture. If we are signing the likes of Ross Barkley, who has got a really high profile, and the 4 players come back. Obviously, Kamara comes back, Tielemans, McGinn, Luiz. If we retain all those, Ramsey, is he good enough to mix in there? He would become 6th, 7th choice, and he doesn't deserve that, because I agree with you. I think he deserves to play football.
So yeah, we all agree. Loan. Erik Boonham. Okay, great. Okay, Douglas Luiz. Interesting. Oh, so Kamara, we're not selling. No. Douglas Luiz, contract 2026, market value 60 million. He is 26. Great season for him. This is a juicy one. Do you want to sell him?
No.
Do you want to keep him?
We don't want to sell him, no. He's a big hitter that I don't want to see go. I went to a friendly at Villa Park and we played Villarreal, and I sat behind the dugout, and Emery had only been here about a month, and I really wanted to see what Emery was like on the touchline. And the only player he was talking to, really, was Douglas Luiz. Wow. They were coming up to each other, they were chatting. Luiz had run off, he'd come back to Emery, and Emery sort of built that midfield around Douglas Luiz. And I think he's so crucial to the way that we actually play. And for me, he's one of Emery's main guys. So, keep.
Interesting. Yeah, so right. So you think the ripple effect of losing him is the problem there? Do you think? I know. I'm coming to you, mate. Do you think he's got stars in his eyes that he wants to, be at a Real Madrid or something like that, and so ultimately you're going to get your heart broken a bit, so you might as well get the cash whilst his stock's high?
I think there's another side. The way of looking at it is it's sometimes important to sell a player when they have hit their peak just before they go. Now, I'm not suggesting Luiz is going to drop off because he's only 26. But when you look at Boubacar Kamara's 2 years younger, and I think if he said to me tomorrow, you had to lose one of them, it would always be Douglas Luiz. It's hard because he's a great footballer, and to even think about that I'm saying these words, but if I had to lose somebody, I think he would be one that I think I'd be okay with.
Yeah, I'm kind of with both of you a little bit, but I get what you're saying, Justin. Is that because as much as he's 26, that's the right age to sell.
Look, if money wasn't, if it wasn't a financial problem, which I think there is, not we're going to be in financial points deduction territory, but if we have got to do something to, be prepared for next season, then he would be probably one of the players I would look at.
Would you sell at 70?
Yeah.
60?
No.
Okay. Shake hands. Move on. John McGinn. John McGinn, 29, contract until 2027, market value of 26 million. Are we keeping John? Or are we selling John?
We're building a statue.
Yeah, it's cheap, isn't it?
We love John
He
McGinn.
stayed.
Is he staying till he's 35?
He probably stays till he retires, probably.
He's club legend material.
Yeah.
He's just...
He's like
and
a
he's
bulldozer.
such an infectious
He's
character.
just a literal bulldozer on the pitch. Yeah.
I think when he got given the captaincy, I think it weighed very heavily on his shoulders, and I think the way he got it didn't help because I think he's mates with everybody in that dressing room, and I think him and Mings came, through everything together. They lived everything through the promotion season, and everything. So when Gerrard did that, it was poor timing, and it was a poor way to do it, and I think it weighed very heavily on McGinn's shoulders, but. I tell you what, he's a natural leader, isn't he?
Yeah, he's infectious as well. I think like certain players, you'd imagine there'd be tears in the dressing room when he leaves. I think John McGinn's that kind of one because they absolutely adore him. So yeah,
he's the heart and soul, isn't
he? Yuri Tillemans, right? Here's the negotiation here. His contract's till 2027. He is 27. If AS Roma come in and offer you 20 mil for Tillemans, would you just take that money?
No.
Okay, so would you keep or sell him, or what would you do?
I'd keep Tillemans.
Yeah, I think I'd keep him as well. He's come a long way under Emery this season. I remember at the start of the season when he came on against Newcastle and he was in and out of the team, and Emery said, you've got to learn how to play here. And he had to learn his position under Emery. And you're thinking a 26-year-old midfielder that's been at Leicester that's done really, really well has got to learn how to play under Emery. And it sounds weird, but he really adapted. He's quite versatile. He's been playing in the 6, been playing in the 8. He's been playing in that shadow striker. He can move all around, and he's had a real good season. Very underrated, I think. Very underrated. Even amongst Villa fans, I think he's underrated of what he brings to the team. And when he's not in the team now, we really start to miss Tielemans.
Feels like, I think maybe he's gone under my radar as well because I haven't really noticed him.
I think he struggled when he first came. Yeah. He did, definitely. And I think it took him time to settle into the team and find his position. But I think once he got his feet under the table, and he got that confidence, and that, as I said to you earlier, that four, that Kamara, Luiz, Tielemans, McGinn, with Watkins and then Bailey, it was a great setup, and that was when we were probably at our best this season.
Jacob Ramsey, 22, contract up in 2027, market value 36 million. That feels low for me when it comes to him. I think he is such a talent. He's got that sort of Gaza drive when he can, in terms of getting past the player, good finisher as well, great feet. Obviously, he has had injury problems, and I think the thing to remember here when we talk about the financial situation, all profit, isn't it, with someone like Jacob Ramsey? So yeah, how do we feel about him? And I guess what I'm going to do is, why would you sell? How much would you sell for? Would you sell?
I wouldn't want to sell him.
No.
This is what I'm on about with Luiz. If there's one's got to go, I think Ramsey's been so unlucky because he got injured with England and he's never got fit this whole season. But the 6 months he had when Emery first came in, he was knocking on England's door. He was that good. He was phenomenal, wasn't he? He was brilliant. And I think if he could get back to anywhere near that, and now you've added Morgan Rogers in as well, that profile of type player that can carry the ball, go past people, score goals, I think he would be one. And he's a Villa fan. He's a local lad. He'll give everything to the club. 22 years of age. You don't want to be selling players that are 22 that have got such a high ceiling, you know. Yeah. Obviously, he's got to get over the injuries, hopefully have a good pre-season and have a really good season next year. He could be one that will be knocking on England's door again.
Luke?
Yeah, I agree. I think the thing is with Ramsey, we've not had him all season, have we? He's probably played about 7 games maybe. So he's going to feel like a brand new signing coming back and playing a full season under Emery again. So yeah, it'd be really. I think the thing is with football fans, when you support your team, is you don't really want to sell your homegrown academy, the one that's like the star player that's come through. So I think that one would be a very tough one for a lot of people to think about.
I agree. I don't think you sell him for a couple of reasons. One, I think at 22, I think you've got 2 years to. Let's see where his stock lands. Second thing is his stock is probably is low right now because he has been injured. So for both reasons, you're not, that market value says 36 million. I mean, I guess the one problem you got is the contract, obviously. But so what? We 2024, like even next year, you've still got 2 years on that contract. So even if you gave it a year, he's 23. I think you still get more than. I think you still get 36 million for a 23-year-old Jacob Ramsey. So I don't think it's one that needs to be done unless it's needed to comply with PSR and you need that total profit, which I bet you're right. That would be a real shame. Nicolo Zaniolo, 24. Contract expiring in June. He was on loan at Galatasaray. Do you want him back?
No, not because I don't like him. I think he's done okay at times. I think he needs to go and play somewhere regularly.
Okay. Leon Bailey, 26. Contract until 2027. Market value 30 million. Don't want to get rid of him now.
Yeah, quality.
Wowee.
Is that just for his right foot?
yeah. In terms of underrated players right now, I think he's, for those that know, they're like, wow.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people won't be aware of how good this guy is.
Well, I'll tell you what, go and watch an interview Luke did with his stepdad, is it?
Oh, amazing.
Brilliant. I mean, he's setting his target as being the best player in the world.
Wow.
Yeah, and he wants Ballon d'Ors, doesn't he? Whether he can reach that level, but I mean, from what we've seen this season, at times he's been absolutely unplayable.
He's been one of the players that, I'll be honest, when he used to get the ball a few years ago, you used to be like, he's not doing nothing with this. You used to be like, don't pass the Bailey because he won't do anything. His development of how he's come on and his touch, his skill, but he's now become a leader on the pitch for Villa as well. When he came on and we were losing against Lille, he comes on and it goes on the big screen and he's like, we've got time. We've still got time. He's such a leader. And this season he's been playing with all that strapping on his knee, been playing through the pain barrier, and he's just been absolutely fantastic. He drops that shoulder and goes on that left foot. It's going in the back of the net. And he's just been a joy to watch because people can't get the ball off him. Whether there's 2 or 3 around him, he's just been sensational.
Morgan Rogers, obviously just signed him, so you're not going to sell him, right? Loan? No, just to check. Moussa Diaby, great season. Kai, my producer's big fan of his, and I remember him messaging me going, you've got yourself a Champions League player here. And then here we are. Contract until 2028, market value 47 million. You might, if he was put out, for sale, you'd obviously get some nibbles there. But
I don't think we sell him, but I think he started the season on fire, really, really good, and I think his level's dropped off.
He's lost his way a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. I think he's still put up good numbers, hasn't he? I think goals and assists
he's
pretty good.
Actually, right up to Christmas,
highest
he was on fire.
XG. He's got the second highest XG at Villa. His numbers are really good. I think the eye test is probably something that a lot of Villa fans have probably got problems with him with. Right. Sometimes he's final ball, he's finishing. But for me, we've been here before, like I mentioned about Bailey, where fans thought, oh no, he's no good. But he went on to another level. So I think next season we'll see a proper Moussa Diaby.
For the longevity of the sustainable rise of Aston Villa, a 24-year-old Moussa Diaby after that season, with the contract he's got, absolutely don't.
Be better for this season as well. Yeah.
Buendia, interesting. 27, contract up in 2026. Market value 90 million. Obviously,
Can't wait to see what he can do under Emery.
Really,
Can't wait.
Because he went in again that
ACL.
first half of the season. He was looking good, wasn't he?
Well, he got an ACL, didn't he? Before the season started, so we haven't seen him at all.
Sorry, last season.
Oh,
Back
yeah,
in the last
yeah.
season, he was having some nice moments there.
Yeah, I think we've missed his little creativity, sitting in the pocket in the 10 role. I think there could be a real superstar there.
Really, still, he's not a little one. You say you need to sell a few little ones.
No, because I think we haven't got a player of that profile in the squad.
Okay, Ollie Watkins, 28. He's older than I thought. Contract until 2027. Market value 56 million. His stock has never been higher. Market value 56 million. How much would you want for him?
200. I'm being serious. I would not sell him unless an absolutely astronomical. You don't sell a player that scored 30 goals in a season.
80, 90 is probably what he's probably worth, I think. But again, he's got 19 goals, leading assists.
32 goals and 30 goal involvements.
Yeah.
I still think people aren't really getting it with him. Like he, for me, is in terms of being kind of complete. I think he's one of certainly the top 10 strikers in football.
I think so. Well, I think he's
because there's not many strikers out there.
I mean, the fact that they even was having debate over him and Ivan Toney for this second England spot, it's just ridiculous. He's categorically the best English striker this season by a mile in England.
Okay, in England.
Sorry. Needed to drop that in.
John Duran, 20.
He's off.
Off?
Yeah, there was a lot of noise in January about Duran to Chelsea. Weirdly, he's liked all of Chelsea's tweets or something, which is doing the rounds.
People do that. Why do that?
Weird.
Do you want just an easier life?
But
do you think that's going to get it over the line?
I do really like him. Like his finishing has been really good from what we've seen. But when you just, and this is just really weird me saying this, but I don't think he likes it at Villa. Like the players come out to warm up at half time. Who's not got his bib on? It's Duran. Everybody's got their
bib. His bib etiquette is not good enough.
He's just like. He's a maverick, and I think
20 years of age. It's hard to say. I think he needs to mature very quickly.
Right.
I think off-field stuff. He had a car accident a few weeks ago, and you hear little bits and bobs about him. I think he just needs to mature. If I could equate him to another player, he seems a bit Balotelli-esque.
Oh, really?
You just don't know what you're going to get with him.
And I think you need confident. Or a backup striker that you can be confident in.
I mean,
well.
I think, a lot of people say his levels can be anything, and I do get that, and I think at times he's been unplayable, and you throw him on, and he's either going to get sent off or score one, bang one in the top corner. Yeah. That's where he's at the moment, and I think Emery needs a player he can trust more. It was very telling after he scored twice coming off the bench against Liverpool that McGinn did 2 or 3 interviews at the end of the game, and he wasn't massively complimentary. He said, "He's a nightmare to play with. It's a nightmare on the training ground." Blah 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 blah. Oh, yeah. And it was tongue in cheek, but you sort of get the idea of just grow up a bit. What I mean? That's the feeling I get, and I think there's a lot of noise now around that he could be one of the ones that he's allowed to go. I think Conor Gallagher, Chelsea, there might be something there, maybe.
Okay. Interesting. Wow. And last one, Philippe Coutinho. He's 31, currently on loan at Al Duhal.
Is he still here?
In Qatar, yeah. Contract till 2026. Market value, 5 million. What a great example of a lazy signing, in my opinion. And second mention for Catherine, who was not... I was like, this doesn't work for me at all.
I predicted this signing.
You what?
I predicted Philippe Coutinho signing for Villa about a week before he signed.
Really? Yeah. I was like, but once he came through, I was like,
do you know
where you want to be going? And now you've got an asset you can't sell.
I get that, and I think he hasn't been valid for money. But I think what the Coutinho signing was for us was a bit like. Who was the Man City signing when they got the big takeover? Robinho. It was that signing of a name. Yeah. Oh, right, he's going there. Do you know what I mean?
It's just Gerrard's mate, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what it was. But I think, yes, all right, I think we cut our losses 100%.
Yeah. So, sell Coutinho.
Give him
one more chance, it's not over.